Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Greetings, family, and welcome back to Raising the Vibe. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Unfortunately, there's more tragic news coming from the Gambia. But before I get into the details, I would ask that you please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Click the notification bell so you'll be made aware every time I post a new video. And if you like the content of this video, hit the like button. So, I have learned from multiple sources inside and outside of the Gambia that a Black British female has been unalived in the Gambia. And unfortunately, this time, there is no question that this sister was actually murdered because she was found in a well on her property, wrapped in a cloth with wounds to her head. And it is just so tragic and distressing, especially on top of what has been happening with Black American women in the Gambia, per my previous video. The Black female from Britain at issue, this sister's name is Shekinah Shinadu. She was born and raised in Britain, but she moved over to the Gambia back in 2017, and that was her place of residence since that time. Now, Shekinah did not have a YouTube channel, but she did have a Facebook page, and she had been interviewed on various other people's YouTube channels. So, as is my practice, I looked into what I could find out about her so that I can share that information with my viewers. The information that I have received indicates that this sister was last heard from by her family and friends on February 13th. Today is Friday, February 16th in the US, and it is my understanding that her body was discovered yesterday, on Thursday. Shekinah lived in the Brusaby area of the Gambia, but she was building a compound in the Kungpujang Mariama district, and I imagine that I have totally mispronounced that, but those familiar with the Gambia know the area that I'm referencing, and that is where her body was found. Her vehicle was also on the property. This sister was 60 years old, no knowledge of anything else wrong with her. But even if there were, the fact that she had wounds to her head and was wrapped in a cloth in the bottom of the well, or they also call it a soak-away pit, certainly disputes any narrative that she died from anything other than an action by someone or someone's in the Gambia. When I first heard of the situation, she was missing and her cell phone was off, which they said was unusual for her. And her friends and family were asking for anyone with knowledge of her whereabouts to contact the police. But in less than a day, I was advised that unfortunately, she had been unalived. What is going on in the Gambia with single Black females? Unfortunately, we are unaware of who committed this heinous act, and a letter writing campaign is in progress. People are writing to the British Embassy in the Gambia demanding or requesting that an investigation be conducted into this sister's death to determine who committed this act. So if you're inclined to help find justice for Sister Shekinah Shenadu, please write a letter to the British Embassy telling them that you want them to put some resources into investigating this sister's death so that her killer can be found and brought to justice. I think this is especially relevant for British nationals living in the Gambia, Gambian citizens, Gambians who wish to help, as well as British citizens living abroad. I have also been advised that some Americans here and in the Gambia are writing letters to the embassy as well. So if you're an American inclined to participate in the letter writing campaign, please do so. Hopefully, a large volume of letters will flood into the British Embassy in the Gambia, forcing them to take action, and we can find out who did this to our sister. Now, if you follow my channel or you've watched any of my videos, you know that I did some research to try to get a handle on who exactly this sister was. I don't know that any of this information would shed light into who unalived her, but I think it is helpful to have an understanding of who she was. And one thing that jumped out immediately is that she was a member of the African Diaspora Returnee Association. And that was an association that was designed to help Blacks abroad repatriate into the Gambia. Sister Shekinah was involved in the African Diaspora Returnee Association's efforts to have an expedited path to citizenship for Blacks from the diaspora who repatriated into Gambia. She had begun working on that in 2017, perhaps very soon after her arrival. She was also involved in that organization's efforts to ensure that members of the diaspora who moved to Gambia would be able to purchase and own their land. And that's actually an interesting topic because there's so much, at least according to the internet and social media, there's a lot of resentment among Gambians about repats purchasing and owning land. And from what Sister Shekinah indicated on her Facebook page, repats to the Gambia are not currently eligible to own land indefinitely. There is a time limit attached to such ownership, but that is more than this video is designed to cover, and perhaps I will delve into that later. We'll see. In addition to being involved in that organization, Sister Shekinah was also involved in assisting repats in purchasing land in the Gambia. So I came across information indicating that back in 2019, Sister Shekinah was involved in a program called Crossing Continents. And one of my favorite African YouTubers, Sister, or rather Dr. Mumbi Saraki out of Kenya, was also involved in that program. This was an estate opening for one of the projects that Sister Shekinah was involved in. Apparently, she had been involved in developing 4 estates in the Gambia where she sold lots to Blacks from the diaspora who were purchasing land in the Gambia. And this one was called Estate Number 1. And even though, again, Sister Shekinah did not have a YouTube page, I saw several interviews she did with other people that were placed on YouTube. And she indicated that in that estate one, she had sold 40 lots in 3 days. So she was instrumental in bringing Blacks from the diaspora to the Gambia, or at the very least in helping them to purchase land, lots in the Gambia. And I want to be clear that people were purchasing a lot because of the controversy surrounding Blacks from the diaspora purchasing land in the Gambia. I want to be clear that these folks were purchasing a lot in the estate that she developed. Now, it would appear that many of the Blacks in the Gambia knew and loved this sister. Prince Dinas Demir interviewed her and the owners or founders of Blacksit 4 years ago. And today he actually did a live stream concerning Sister Shekinah's death. As far as I'm aware, the letter writing campaign was started by other Black British females, two in particular. And so that would indicate some affinity, care, and concern for her in or by the Black British community in the Gambia. So as I mentioned, Sister Shekinah Shinadu had a Facebook page. And on that Facebook page, she indicated that she was a holistic health practitioner. Apparently, she sold natural health products. She also was a lawyer consultant. And based on information I found on YouTube about a conference she participated in with somebody that I find to be informative, but also very amusing, Dr. Umar. She was a construction contractor. She was a citizenship advocate, and she offered legal services. So she was very involved in the Gambia, on the political scene, in connection with repats. And here are a few clips that demonstrate that fact. I am really making a sincere effort to share as much positive information as I can about this sister. But unfortunately, in researching this sister, I also did come across some negative information as well. So one of the people who had quite a bit of negative things to say about Sister Shekinah was a YouTuber who used to reside in the UK, and his YouTube channel was called The Unapologetic Negropian. These days, in researching this sister, I discovered that he now has renamed his channel. He said that he and she were both from the same small Afro-Caribbean community in the UK. And so he was able to find out quite a bit of negative information about this sister. Now, these were videos 2 years back. I did not see anything current from him about her, but what he said about her back then was really significant. One of the things he said is that Shekinah Shinadu is not her name, not a real name. He did not indicate what a real name is. Another thing he said, which was really significant, because I'm aware that she was serving as a lawyer to a number of people in the Gambia. He said that she was not a lawyer, she was not an attorney, she had never been licensed, and she had never passed a bar. Although she did have a legal background, she was not a lawyer, and she was passing herself off as a lawyer. As I indicated, it even states on her Facebook page that she's a lawyer. And allegedly, this sister was one of the repats in the Gambia who was sort of swindling swindling other Blacks in the diaspora out of their money. He alleged that one couple had sent her 24,000 Canadian dollars that she mismanaged their money, and that ultimately she blocked them from having any further communication with her. He also alleged, I don't know how many of you guys remember Art Cathy from America, and then Kwesi Boyd, who still lives in the Gambia. At one point, they had a project where they were encouraging Blacks from the diaspora to come over to the Gambia. They alleged that, or they asserted that they were developing properties that we could stay in when we came to visit, and they requested investments and were offering ownership opportunities in this project. And a number of people gave her money, some of whom went over there and blew up the whole thing because they discovered that the apartments or rental unit that Art Cathy and Kwesi Boyd claimed to have prepared were actually just in a state of disarray, uninhabitable, and all of that. So at some point, Art and Kwesi decided to have an audit conducted of their books, their financial books, and Tan alleged that they selected Sister Shekinah Shinedu as their auditor, which he and some of his followers in the comments found just to be outrageous. On his part, number one, she wasn't even a lawyer. And then those people, him and his followers, were saying that, you know, such an audit really needed to be conducted by an accountant anyway. And so he was sort of asserting that she was connected with them and that any audit she performed would not really be a true audit to let people know what the condition of their books was. Well, apparently, he and his company helped to have Shekinah Shinedu arrested a few years back, and he posted videos about it on YouTube. According to him, her scam was that she would obtain money from Black diasporans and she would buy a big lot or plot of land in an area far out that was inexpensive. And then she would divide that lot into, say, 10 smaller lots. She would reserve one of those small lots for the person whose money, or the couple people whose money she used to buy that land. And then she would sell each of those other 9 lots to other Blacks in the diaspora who wanted to buy land in the Gambia at an inflated price, thereby making money for herself while scamming her fellow Blacks from the diaspora. I don't have any comments on that. I'm just reporting what he said in his videos. But as I said, many in the Gambia knew and loved her, and many felt that she was very helpful to the repat community and a beloved member of that community. I will say, if you're out there in the Gambia or in UK or wherever, and you have any information that might help the Gambian police to determine who killed this sister, please share it. You want to contact me, my email is raisingthevibe, the number 4 us at gmail.com. You can leave a comment on this video. You can also get in touch with the Gambian police, with the British Embassy in the Gambia, with anybody that you know will share that information with the authorities to help catch this sister's killer. And I want to be clear here, in my opinion, regardless of what kind of activities she may or may not have been involved in, of a nature that was less than honorable, she didn't deserve to lose her life in this manner. I find it to be a tragedy. I am shocked. I am appalled. I am concerned about what is happening to single Black females in the Gambia. She was from the diaspora, not American this time, but from the UK. And in my opinion, we need to figure out what is going on in the Gambia, and we need to confirm that the Gambia is still a safe place for single Black females from the diaspora. That's all I have to say. I truly regret to have to share this information with you today, family, especially right on the heels of my last video. So it's just sad. But if you found this video informative, please click the like button. Again, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would ask that you please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new content. And until next time, family, peace and love and light. Please stay safe wherever you are.